Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the announcement of the evening. And now, introducing to you, hailing from West London, United Kingdom, coming in by way of the dance hall and grime scene, it's Lady, your girl, Chann!
Long. Okay, so what do you think about trainers getting a lot of backlash when when fighters lose? Have you experienced that as yet?
Comes with the territory. If you want to be up at this level, you're going to be criticised. If you can't take it, then you're in the wrong business. No matter what happens, someone's always got something to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just us as coaches, it's fighters as well as boxers. Boxers, they take hard fights, and if they lose, then someone's got something to say. Well, if you don't take the tough fights, then you've got something to say, so you can't win. Same with coaches,
Mm-hmm.
With a coach's journey, it's like a roller coaster ride. There's no coach in history that's ever had fighters just with an unbeaten run every boxer they've got. It doesn't work like that. Some fights they win, some fights they lose. So you got to take the good with the good and the bad with the bad. And when you're being criticised, you just got to deal with it. Good times are coming ahead. Look forward. It's all. And even when I had my amateur gym, we might go out and fight at the weekend, but the next week you might have lost that fight. We're out the next weekend, and you get a victory. To me, I look at this the same. All right, you lost your last fight. Come back, work hard, and make sure you don't lose again.
Yeah.
It's just you have to be positive. But when you're up at this level, you're here to be judged.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way it is. It's like every time a football team loses a football game, it's the manager. It's never like they say, yeah, it's the players, maybe they weren't motivated. The manager could have got the tactics perfectly right, but the players didn't function. But the manager will get it. Me, I know because I've been around good coaches for so long, I've seen what they've had to deal with. And they've already told me, Zav, this is what's coming. So I've been prepared for it a long time ago. It just is what it is.
Yeah. And is it important? What do you think? Like, obviously, with the backlash with DUBOIS and Yarde. So, what's your thoughts on them? On that.
We'll start us. Well, with DUBOIS, and I did an interview last week. I just said that I thought they took the right fight. Personally, I thought that he needed to step up because the guys he was boxing, he wasn't going to learn anything else from them. And for Joe Joyce, he needed a name. You need like a breakout fight as well. So to me, the match was a perfect match, and we saw that on the day. It was a good fight. The only disappointment for me was I would have liked to see DUBOIS get up and have a go, because
even with a broken orbital bone in two places,
the eye was already closed. What you want to see from a boxer is, I know I might not get back to the corner, or they might not let me back up for another round. So remember, DUBOIS got power, he's explosive. I'd rather a guy go out swinging and just see, if he can change a fight around. The fights that I'm used to watching, they're from 70s, 80s, 90s. I've seen guys in those situations before, and they've turned fights around, or they've had a go and then the corner said, you know what, you've done your best, we'll have to pull you out.
It was clear to see that his corner was swag. His corner was rubbish. It was clear to see his corner was rubbish. They was like, this is a fight game. The geezer had he had two fractures in his two fractures in his orbital bone. The eye specialist said any further, his eyeball would have dropped to the back of his skull and he would have had a detached retina. So is it about going out swinging for this one fight and then being 23 and blind for the rest of your life in one eye?
As I said earlier, no matter how you look at it, everyone's going to have an opinion. I've got an opinion on that now, and obviously from what you're saying, he might want to spare his career. That might have happened. But at the end of the day, going forward, when he gets into a situation like that again, we don't know if he's going to want to continue. And I'm not just talking about just eye damage. I had a fighter in a bout one time, and the shoulder dislocated, and I don't know how the boxer did it, but he rolled the shoulder back in and
I heard about that.
And he had to finish the fight with one hand. But this is what I'm saying. Like it's like going back years back as well. There was a guy called Kevin Kelly, boxing a guy called Derek Gaynor. I was completely shocked. And you can see the corner said, "I'll give you one more. We're going to give you one more round." He went out, he knocked the guy out. Like, look, the corner and the doctor and those people, they should really be saving the boxer. Yeah, that's the best thing. Remember that it's our job to care for the fighter. A fighter will always want to carry on fighting regardless. But it's not often that you see a boxer take a knee and see the count out. It's quite rare. It was almost non-existent back then.
Yeah, but his corner didn't care. So he's like, "Yo, this is right." Like,
I can't speak on their corner. I don't know.
Well, we've already seen that there was no doctor attended to observe the eye, and every time he kept going back to the corner, they were just telling him to go back out. So the doctor doesn't need the corner or anybody else to tell them to go to a corner to go and check on someone's eye. He should be doing that anyway. That's why the doctor's in the arena in the first place. That's why the incompetence lies, because the doctor didn't step up. So
that's the problem.
So the Moorfields Eye Hospital, the specialist from there said it was lucky that he had the nerve started to fire off and onto the fracture on his bone, because that let him know that he had to take that knee. Without that type of pain, he would have carried on boxing, and then he would have had the detached retina. So, you know.
Like I said, well, no one can tell DUBOIS how he felt at that moment. He knows whether he could continue or couldn't. Obviously, he couldn't continue, and he did the right thing for himself in his career. But you're asking people's opinions.
Yeah.
So I have to give mine.
Yeah.
It'd be very. I'd rather pull Yusuf out of a fight than him tell me he's not going to continue. That's just the way it is. That's just my mentality. Boxing's a hard sport. That's just the way it is. But the guys outside are there to protect the fighter. Now, it's alarming that the doctor was not coming and checking from maybe the fourth round onwards.
I know.
And seeing if the corner was, and seeing if he could. To be honest with you, most of the fights I watched before, the doctor will come and say, "Well, can you see it out of the eye?" Now, when they say, "Can you see it out of the eye?" you say no. They'll say, "All right." They either stop it immediately, or they'll say, go one more round. Yeah. Sometimes it's taking out the corner hands altogether. But it's funny that actually thinking about it now, it's true. I didn't see the doctor, and that's not good.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild to me. And not every fighter, once they get punched in the eye and it's swelling, it means that they've got a fracture in the orbital bone, by the way. So I know, but I'm just saying, in his case, it was, because a lot of boxers get punched in the eye and their eye swells and it swells shut, but there's no fracture. But yeah, that's just wild. So what do you think about of what's going on with Tunde Ajayi, with the backlash that he's receiving with Anthony Yarde?
Well, again, everyone keeps getting on Tunde, but he's managed to put Yarde in a position where a lot of boxers will never get to. He's got good support. He didn't have a very long, extensive amateur career. He's boxed for a world title. He's in a very, very close fight the other day. He's young enough to rebuild. I don't know why Tunde gets all this backlash. I mean, his character, his personality, his personality. That's just the way Tunde goes about his business. You can't say he hasn't done a good job with Yarde, because you'd be lying. He has. Yeah. And I had another kid at my gym for a while.
You've frozen, by the way. I don't know if it's you've frozen, but
no, is it?
I'm not frozen, am I?
No, you're good.
Okay, but it doesn't matter as long as I got still your audio. Sorry to break what you were saying. Sorry.
Hold on one second. Let me see if it's the Wi-Fi.
I'll pause 1 sec. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, let's talk about Tunde. I mean, he's been getting a lot of hate for a long time. But he's been in boxing a long time. To me, he's done well. And like I was saying earlier, you know, I had a kid down at my gym, Junior Saba. You know, obviously his pro career got cut short, but he was built by Tunde. Tunde built him from a very young age.
Yeah.
And when he came to my gym, I could see the talent in the kid. So clearly, Tunde knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like I said, Tunde's been around long enough, and he's a strong enough character to deal with what's going on. He'll be fine.
Yeah. What was your opinions on the Yarde fight with Arthur?
I had Arthur winning the fight by at least 2 rounds. I thought there wasn't enough action in the fight. I thought they were standing off a lot, you know, a lot of fencing, but the clean, sharp, quick fire jabs from Lyndon to me were the difference. You know, outside of that, there wasn't many power shots for us to talk about. So basically, it was a fencing and a jabbing match where there was only one person really whose jab was effective. You have to be honest and be, regardless of what team you're playing for, who landed the more effective jabs? Lyndon. So I give the fight to him by 2 or 3 rounds. You know, I expected so much more in that fight, but that means I give credit to Lyndon for setting the pace how he did. He kept that fight at a comfortable pace for him.
For himself, yeah.
So respect to him. Respect to him.
But the thing that's a bit weird for me, because I said the same thing that, I mean, well, I'm going to tell you why I had Yarde just about winning. It's because I was watching it clearly. And then by the time it got to the 9th round and I saw the scorecards, Arthur was only ahead by 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
So that was by round 9.
That's unofficial scorecard, right? That's an unofficial scorecard.
Yeah, well, unofficial scorecard, but he's still ahead by 1 point unofficially. So you're going to leave a little loose room for error, maybe a few points here and there either side. Cool. With Yarde winning the 10th and 11th and 12th round, did he not win those rounds then?
He definitely won the 12th.
I thought because he started slow, lost a lot of rounds at the beginning, trust me. But winning the 10th, 11th and 12th round, he won a couple of the other earlier rounds, maybe like 2. But with that loose, unofficial scorecard, how loose can we go then from him actually winning the last 3 rounds? Maybe I saw something different. Why? So I expected the win by scraping. But I expected the win.
How did you score it?
Yeah.
Do you know what? It was close. Yarde was pressing the fight. Like Coach said, Lyndon's jab was landing. And I think it just comes down to the judges, what the judges like to see. Some judges like pressure, some judges like clean, effective punching. So it's like an opinionated decision in the end. For me, I had it close. It could have gone 1 round either way for me. I mean, I know Ian John Lewis was the judge in the fight. I know he really likes pressure.
His scorecard was crazy, didn't it?
Yeah, his scorecard was for pressure.
Yeah,
I knew
like
he
the
was
170, 111. Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be that high, but I knew he had Yarde up, man.
Hang on, your Wi-Fi's gone pear-shaped.
This is what they were going to score for.
Yeah, hang on, your Wi-Fi's just gone. Sorry, it went pear. So, and do you think they counted for body shots? Because that is where Yarde did score. Like, well, I don't know if they counted for it, but he did execute some clean body shots. I don't think maybe they wasn't accounted for.
Yeah, but not enough though. Not enough to take away that sharp jab. When he landed that jab, it was clean.
Yeah.
Like I said, I score fights on clean, effective punching. Me, if you're landing clean the target, then you know it doesn't matter if the fight is busier.
Yeah.
Whether you're coming forward, going backwards, I don't care. Boxing is landing clean punches, and Lyndon landing the more clean punches throughout that fight. So that's why I gave it to him.
Well,
but it's not to say it can't make a very good rematch.
Yeah. So definitely just won that fight with a jab.
Yeah, which you can do. Like Joe Joyce beat DUBOIS the other day with a jab. He basically won that fight with a jab. He wasn't using his back. He hardly ever used his backhand. Very soon. It was a similar kind of fight, apart from Joyce's jab was a bit more of a thud.
Yeah. He's like 18 stone. But yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Okay, so how important is sparring? How important
I think it's
is
very, very
sparring
important
for you? How important for you is sparring, Yusuf? Yusuf.
I think it's the most important aspect of training camp, in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because it's the closest thing you can get to the actual competition. It's the closest thing. You can hit the bags, you can hit the pads, you can run as long as you can, but nothing can replicate the fight as much as sparring. So I think it's a vital part of training camp. That being said, I don't think you should be sparring every single day or 6 times a week or 4 times. You should obviously structure it in a way where you can get the best out of yourself in the sparring in order to prepare for the fight. But that being said, sparring is the most important part, and I feel like not only in training camp to improve overall as a boxer, you need sparring to practice and work on what you've been working on with your coach.
Yeah. What in training? What's your favorite part of training? Do you like cardio? Do you like weights? Do you prefer
violence? Violence.
I love sparring. I've always loved sparring. I remember from when I started boxing, I was 14, 15 years ago. I used to walk in the gym and ask the coach if they were sparring. If he said no, I used to just take myself and go home. I never used to want to do anything. I never used to run. I never used to want to skip. I never used to want to punch back. I just wanted to spar.
That's because you're violent.
Yeah, it is.
That
being said,
go on. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's the same now. To be honest, I just want to spar.
98 change.
I do the pads, I do everything else, the running, but I love sparring and fighting. That's me.
Yeah. So, what part of London are you from? Like, originally, are you from London? Even?
I'm from Wembley. I'm from Wembley.
Are you from up the road? Cool. Yeah. Did you go to what secondary was there? Did you go to Copeland?
Nah, I went Wembley High.
Yeah, you went Wembley High. I was going to say that first.
Wembley High,
Oh, okay then. Yeah, that's wild. And all right, we're going to get more into you. I just need to make sure I get all the questions for Xavier, and then obviously combined. Wherever you want to jump in, you can jump in as well, though, because it can apply to you. So it's not like you can't answer. Do you understand? I mean, everybody just
we're just freestyling.
Just mingle up. You get me? So it's all good. Yeah, because I am a journalist, so everybody don't have to be stiff. Like I'm a dancehall grime artist, so we don't have to be too stiff. My show's not stiff, but it's important that all the facts are relayed, but we don't have to be suit and tied off on this. You get me? So everyone's from similar bits, so it's all good. So yeah, you said sparring's your favourite thing.